we will start by defining species. Species is a group of organisms that can mate with one another that produce fertile offspring. So they make offspring that can produce more offspring and continue to carry on their species, just like how we carry on our parents' last name. Next up, we will define adaptation, the way species change over time due to demanding changes in their environment. They develop physiological, behavioral, and structural adaptations to increase the rate of survival. Here I have a picture of a polar bear and a grizzly bear. So in the forest environment, it is more beneficial for the bear to be brown because it camouflages in better with the environment, whereas in an Arctic environment, it is more beneficial for the polar bear to be white. And another fun fact about some Arctic animals, in the summer, their fur actually comes back gray to blend in better with the surroundings as there will be less snow. So the fur comes back as like a gray, brown, and in the winter the fur grows thicker and white to blend in with the snow to be less risk to be eaten by a predator. Evolution, that is today's main topic. That is the process by which different living organisms are thought to have developed and diversified from earlier forms throughout their time on Earth. Evolution results in changing characteristics to become more advantageous in survival. And it also is now found that it is a change in the genetic makeup. Can anyone think of specific examples of evolution? All right, yes, very good. Thank you for participating. We have several examples, which some of you said breeding cattle, breeding dogs. Yes, different dog breeds are examples of evolution and how over time the wolf has developed into very small dog breeds, pugs, shih tzus, beagles. And then we have the classic example of ourselves, humans, coming from gorillas, evolving over time. And then we even have birds evolving from dinosaurs. And they are the most similar species living today. They're the closest related to dinosaurs. Next, we have Charles Darwin, and from 1831 to 1836, Darwin studied in the Galapagos Islands to collect data on plants and animals. While he was there, he observed new animal species and plant species that were specifically native to the Galapagos Islands. Then he came up with the concept of natural selection, which is when individuals adapt to their environment and survive and reproduce more successfully than other individuals. Next, we'll get into some examples, specifically focusing on the finches and the various beak types. The large ground finch, he had a thicker beak because he had to break open the seeds. And then we move on to the next finch, who has a longer, narrow beak, and that was a cactus ground finch. And he had to have the narrow beak in order to be able to eat around the cactus prickers. And then we have the vegetarian finch, who his beak was kind of right in between the thick and long beak to eat the buds. And then we move into the woodpecker finch that had to eat insects, so it was a slightly longer beak to be able to grab the insects from out of the ground. When Charles Darwin came up with this concept, he lacked genetic evidence to support his theory on natural selection. However, now scientists have verified that genetic code does change with the natural selection over time. And I do have a fun example here for everyone to see. We'll be doing the peppered moth class activity here. And